smack you upside the head.
That's why guys don't want to have
Would that be an
edge?
edge?
That would be an edge. And that would be really interesting. You could like open something up there in a big way.
Why does your chewing annoy me so much?
Hearing another person chewing is you're hearing the essence of who they are, their otherness, their bodily functions.
It's good to know because the girls and I are very irritated.
Everyone hates him at the table. This poor man sits down every night to nothing but contempt. And somehow Michelle Obama thinks this is going to make her super relatable by always talking about how much she loathes her life partner and husband, the former president of the United States, Barack Obama. So you tell me whether we were sold a bag of goods by a media that for years wanted us to buy.
And Kelly, the reporter with the glass-cutting smile and the chaotic intellect, unleashed full investigative mode on Michelle Obama. Furthermore, this isn't just some unimportant rumors about fitness challenges or kale smoothies. This is a mind-blowing, reputation-shaking drama. At the conclusion of this tale, you may wonder whether reality itself simply escaped.
Right? By the way, Joy Reid went to Harvard. I mean, that's all you really need to know about what a farce affirmative action is. She went to Harvard. Michelle Obama went to Princeton. Sheila Jackson-Lee went to Harvard. And Ketanji Brown Jackson did too. So Michelle Obama has already admitted before that she got into Princeton via affirmative action. That's how Charlie knew it. And listen to her. She went on the Lewis Howes podcast. It was released in May of 2025, but they cut a shorter version and re-released parts of it just now, which is how it caught our attention. And listen to what Michelle Obama says.
This rabbit hole is deep, so press the subscribe button before we continue. I take it you know Michelle Obama, the former First Lady, was picture perfect. All elegance, charm, and self-assurance, able to change lives mid-speech and deliver a faultless TED lecture while sporting $1,000 heels. Then along comes Megyn Kelly, a journalist and chaos maker who is prepared to shake that perfect picture like a snow globe.
Great test taker. I was a great grade getter, but I wasn't good on SAT. So I had good grades, not great scores. So all the scores said, you don't belong at Princeton. And there were people who saw me, saw the color of my skin and said, you're aiming too high. Sure. Imagine going to these schools being told that you're not ready. And that was my first insecurity of thinking, well, maybe I don't belong here. And that's the world telling you that you don't belong, even though it's like, well, all my experiences up until this point say that why wouldn't I belong here?
So how did you overcome that?
Because you had bad.
Michelle isn't only being watched closely. She is hooked to a rocket and is soaring directly into the spotlight. Because no amount of charm or well-chosen PR armor can stop Megyn Kelly when she smells a story. Every well-executed picture opportunity, every inspirational speech, every chat show giggle. When Megyn begins to ask questions, everything gets suspicious.
There she is, saying almost exactly what Charlie said, that she did not have the scores. Another way of saying it would be brain power. It is an aptitude test to get into Princeton on her own, that they had to lower the standards for her, and they were willing to do that because of the color of her skin. But she changes it to the color of her skin led people to believe she didn't belong at Princeton. No, the color of her skin is the reason she got into Princeton and got a lifetime of advice.
She did ask. Megyn claims that there is a secret that no one anticipated hidden under the pearls, the impeccable blazers, and that signature grin. You wonder if America has been living within a Hallmark film while the actual tale has been sitting just behind the curtain, drinking tea and rolling its eyes. It's so strange and gloriously ridiculous. Be truthful.
Got a podcast, and she's using it, she's putting it to good use. I mean, she's really working through a lot of her feelings about the United States, about her husband, about her children. P.S. The answer on all three of those is she can't stand them. She hated motherhood. She can't stand her marriage, and she's not too keen on the United States of America. And there's another thing she's not too keen on, and that is being...
One of the most protected public personas in existence is Michelle Obama. Her picture has been meticulously sculpted by a NASA engineer. However, Megyn Kelly doesn't follow the standards of civility. She plunges right into the thick of things. She stalks her targets like a hawk at a political dinner party, driven by curiosity and espresso. She continues until the entire internet is gasping at discovering a fragrance. I'm holding lattes. She discovered more than just adorable trivia. This aspect of Michelle is startlingly chaotic, comically obsessed, and strangely human. It's the type of revelation that splits Reddit, smashes Twitter, and makes your aunt start texting in all capitals on Facebook. Consider this.
And near as I can tell, she devotes some 90% of it to telling us why she can't stand Barack Obama.
Wait, she has a podcast?
She does. No one is watching it. Yeah, literally, I think we are the only ones who watch it.
Oh my gosh, I didn't know that. That's amazing.
Yeah, she has a podcast, and all she does is rip on her husband. I mean, truly, every show has got a new update on how she can't stand him. The latest was she cannot stand watching him chew at the...
You are browsing through Wholesome in Peace. When Megyn Kelly unexpectedly reveals a bombshell, Michelle Obama quotes, "It seems as though she discovered a sitcom hiding under the glitter-coated exterior of political perfection. Because the lady behind the inspiration and elegance is so structured and careful that she makes Marie Kondo appear inexperienced. Books alphabetized by emotion, Jews arranged by hue, spices were arranged like well-behaved soldiers." Megyn says it's both enthralling and disturbing. The type of glitzy insanity that is impossible to ignore. That's only the warm-up, though.
Still to this day. And Charlie's being called a racist for saying exactly what she said in that clip.
Yeah, and you know what's weird? I've spent over 50 years in academia at a number of institutions, and I can tell you that among the faculty, one of the greatest criticisms is that they do let in legacies. A lot of the legacies are very qualified, but they do let in legacies. So she says, well, there were all these legacies here and everybody doesn't, and that's as criticized as affirmative action. And I can tell you, in the CSU system that I taught in, I would get calls from coaches and say, Victor, this guy is middle linebacker, or this guy, I don't know how he ended up in your class, but if you
Clean closets weren't the only thing Megyn did. In order to reveal the lady behind the myth, she dug further into the peculiarities, the rivalries, and the times when perfection falters just enough. Michelle Obama, it turns out, has a competitive spirit that can make Olympic competitors perspire. You can't help but chuckle when Megyn shares it, since it's realistic and not shocking. It's our collective pettiness disguised as political grace and designer elegance.
As earlier, like, what makes you feel alive? What makes you feel like you're present?
In the life I live, which is so abnormal now, it's like being outside.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I say this a lot, something that comes with fame that people don't, that they don't appreciate, they're not cautious of, is the loss of...
The humor really comes alive at that point. Because Megyn Kelly is the human equivalent of a reality check in a society that is fixated with filters and image management. She pierces the well-polished speeches and well-chosen postings to expose the minute flaws we are blind to. Michelle's elegant smiles turn into hints all of a sudden. Her famously cool demeanor was a facade that concealed humorous pandemonium. Like a general in charge of an army of identical pens, a lady color coordinates her whole surroundings. It becomes performance art under Megyn's direction, evidence that even the most untouchable stars have their "please tell me" moments. The eyebrow follows.
Gun to her head and made her run for the White House and become First Lady twice. Though you wouldn't know that to hear her talk. And on top of that, you know, like Laura Bush, she kind of went off into the sunset and never bothered anybody again. Barbara Bush certainly did that. Hillary Clinton didn't. But Michelle Obama decided to launch a podcast where she talks about herself incessantly. That there's the woman she had on who was questioning her was a relationship therapist, talking all about Michelle's relationship with Barack. Again, P.S. Spoiler,
Megyn refers to it as the brow of doom. During her book tours, Michelle is said to have the ability to quiet rooms and cause journalists to doubt their professions with her subtle look. Megyn examines it as if it were an antiquated artifact, a form of micro-expression that has evolved into a tool of mass intimidation. She talks about the White House employees being afraid of crooked notes or mismatched colors, so they tiptoe along the hallways. Global politics are debated outside. A pillow is a shade off, and someone is freaking out inside. It's hilarious. Then there's the story of Scrabble.
There's such a great new, spin of complaints here. Here's one from her most recent episode, which still on YouTube, she's got like 200,000 subscribers. It's really amazing that now she's been doing this for how many episodes? She's been literally on every podcast of the left wing promoting it. And that's still all she's managed to get. Here she is interviewing Dr. Sharon Malone, perhaps better known as former Attorney General Eric Holder's wife. And therein lies the problem, as these two ladies married to two very famous men are pissed that they are not the alpha in terms of popularity and recognition.
Megyn claims that Barack lost one night. Lost, indeed. And Michelle could have stopped time with the look she gave him. It's petty. It's achingly human and funny. According to Megyn, she is a perfectionist who sneaks sweets at night while preaching balance throughout the day. A paradox and kale lady. And because perfection is dull, it somehow deepens your love for her. But perfection with a cookie hoard hidden away. It's cinematic. Megyn gives the twist at this point. None of these peculiarities, these odd little obsessions, are defects. They are the genius's blueprint. Megyn contends that Michelle's control, not her perfection, is her secret. Her skill at orchestrating mayhem so well that even her flaws are included into the legend. The meticulously scheduled interviews, the late-night scribbling, and the covert fear of symmetry. They all contribute to a picture that is so well planned that it verges on art.
Boiling as she sits across from him like, I want to smack his face for the chewing. She doesn't like motherhood. She's like 0 to 13 were traumatic and horrible. Meanwhile, that's basically all of motherhood. You know, it's like all you have after that is high school. And now here she's out again. Honestly, you can't stop her. Every single episode, there's something more. Here was the latest that just happened yesterday.
College stuff. Making her bed, because whenever they went to camp or somewhere, I said, I'll make your bed once and I'll make it.
Megyn concludes her research with adoration rather than derision. Because there is a woman who is better than anybody at balancing authority, pressure, and humanity behind every color-coded cabinet and late-night cookie. Her peculiarities set her apart. She is intriguing because of her shortcomings. She is recognizable because of her paradoxes. Michelle Obama's perfection does not make her untouchable. Because she is real, she cannot be touched. Hilariously human, perfectly flawed, and resilient despite the storm. And the world finally saw it thanks to Megyn Kelly, the journalistic chaos queen.